cruise news time. And look, they say that bigger is better, but I doubt that's true when it comes to your cruise bill. Also, is Carnival done? Another cruise tuber has predicted the end of a portion of Carnival's business, and he may be right. He may be right. Plus, there's a woman on a Carnival cruise ship shamed for her feeding practices. Okay, cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lita Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on a Thursday the 20th of June, 2024. And it's cruise chaos, baby. It is going crazy. It is popping off like Orville Redenbacher in a over-amplified microwave right now. Let's start the show off with the story of the woman shamed on a Carnival cruise ship for her feeding practices. Again, it amazes me the stuff that people will say out loud. There is a cruise passenger who wrote into Carnival brand ambassador John Heald stating that she was on her balcony in Alaska and she had some bread left over. Like, I'm not sure where they chipmunked some bread from, but some bread left over, and she was nonchalantly throwing the bread into the air off of the balcony, feeding the seagulls. She had a flock of seagulls. They ran. So she had a flock of seagulls that she was feeding off of her balcony by tossing bread. And I think, as she put it, some busybody, some nosy person snitched on them. I guess they don't know that snitches get stitches. And then the knock came on the door. And security was there to tell them not to throw stuff off their balcony, which is a rule, and to also encourage them not to feed the birds in Alaska, because that's kind of a rule also. I think it's a straight up rule, but it's not a best practice. You don't want to be hand feeding the wildlife in Alaska. It's got a lot of ramifications. Of course, if they don't get the bread, I don't know, you could be polluting the environment. If you do get birds accustomed to being fed off of a cruise ship, they're going to flock to the cruise ship. And, after they eat, like most animals, they leave stuff, and you don't want that stuff left on a cruise ship. You're just not supposed to do it. But the lady felt shamed and humiliated because she was told not to do the thing that she should not do. Everybody's like, oh, I wasn't supposed to do it, but did you have to be so harsh when you told me not to do it? Yes. If somebody has to tell you not to do something, there's probably going to be a level of harshness with it. I don't know. What do you think about this one? Do you think it's crazy that you should be able to throw dinner rolls off to a bird off the side of the cruise ship? Or do you think this person's just missing the mark a little bit? Leave a comment below. You want to talk about people that missed the mark a little bit? Look at this picture right here. This is how a couple was dressed for formal night on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. They suffered through dinner, feeling stared at and awkward as they were dressed like this during a formal night dinner. The confusion happened because the lady there, she read on the program that it was a 90s party night, and she got confused. She thought the whole night was themed for the 90s, including the dinner, but it was also formal night. So what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to dress up in their formal wear. They're elegant, they're Sunday best, they're dressed to the nines, they're Christian Dior, whatever they were supposed to do that, and then they were supposed to go put on their 90s, I'm part of a teenage game show attire, that's what she called it, and then go to the 90s party. Well, they didn't do that, and what I don't understand in this story is, like, why not just go? It was probably a timing thing, right? You show up for your dinner time, and you realize you got the wrong clothes on, and by the time that you went and changed your clothes, it would probably throw off your whole dinner time, that kind of thing, so they just sat through it. Do you think anybody cares? That's the thing. Like, do you think people are actually gawking? They probably felt conscious because they probably felt more self-conscious because they were undressed when everybody else was dressed. But do you think the person 5 tables over gives one flying hoop-de-doo about what these people are wearing? I certainly wouldn't. I just want to make sure that my prime ribs cook correctly. And can I get an extra lobster tail? I don't care about Jack and Jill in the party outfits. Who cares? I don't know. What do you think? Should they have been publicly shamed? They put it out there themselves, so if they are publicly shamed, I guess that's on them. All right, cruise news story number 3. Guess who's happier than a pig in punch about all of the attention they are getting? It's the Port of Tampa. The Port of Tampa is so excited lately because they got that brand new Margaritaville Islander cruise ship. Everybody's going on the Islander. There's a whole litany of videos out there talking about the Islander. We love it. We don't love it. There's rust on the balcony. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but there's been enough hubbub going on that the Port of Tampa, the commissioners over there, they dropped $500,000, $500,000 to engage an engineering firm to begin planning a 4th cruise terminal in Tampa. Now, honestly, Tampa's a quaint little cruising area right now. They got the 3 terminals. It's pretty easy to maneuver in and out of. There's a decent amount of parking. There's even valet parking. It's pretty sweet and sexy. The limitation is, of course, the size of the cruise ship that can cruise out of Tampa because you have to go under the Skyway Bridge. But this Margaritaville Sea cruise ship Islander is a Spirit class cruise ship. It's like the Carnival Pride and the Carnival Spirit, almost identical in design. Of course, decored differently, refurbed differently because of Margaritaville at Sea. But yeah, it's a new option for people in Tampa, and it's causing the commissioners, the city planners there in Tampa to say, you know what? Maybe we get ourselves a 4th cruise terminal. It has some opposition, but who cares? Government gonna do what they're gonna do. If we want a 4th cruise terminal, it's gonna happen. And Tampa very excited right now. But I tell you who may not be excited about the onset of the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. It could be Carnival Cruise Line. Is Carnival done? There's a cruise tuber that I watch almost every day that makes a bold statement to that effect. I'm going to share that story with you and give my commentary. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. We hit the 257,000 subscriber marker, Locafam for life, baby. Are you a part of that number? If not, don't be a not number person. So this guy that I met one time on a cruise ship, I'm hesitant to call him a friend. I think I would be friends, but I don't really know. We're not that far in our relationship. I don't want to be overly committal with this guy. His name's John. He's the roller cruiser. We're an acquaintance. We've been acquainted, and I like the guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, he seems like my kind of people in the Kerouac, I love the mad people kind of way. And so I watch John every day, and you should too. The roller cruiser, check him out. He's on the old Margaritaville at Sea Islander right now, and he, after day 1, he says this.
Ha! So let's talk about the situation in Tampa. All right, so pro tip, Carnival, or put it this way, I predict Carnival Paradise might not be long for this world, because after one day, I tell you, there's probably no reason to choose Carnival Paradise over Margaritaville at Sea Islander for your short cruise. Yeah.
And look, before you write that off as just some Carnival hater, John is not that. He cruises more than I do, more than most cruise tubers do, and he does all the lines. So he's got a really good perspective on what's going on in the cruising industry. Yeah, that's a bold statement. Margaritaville at Sea Islander, such a better option than Carnival Paradise out of the Port of Tampa. Ugh. It hurts my heart. I love the Paradise, but competition's good. This will be interesting to see if Carnival steps up their offering a little bit in Tampa. Paradise, a great ship to cruise out of Tampa for sure, but will they be squeezed? Will they be squeezed out of Tampa by the upstart? And look, I don't think Margaritaville at Sea is done either. I hear rumblings of them purchasing another ship. What if they go after another cruise port? Is Margaritaville at Sea the new MSC, except like as an underdog? Now, let's talk about the expensive cruise bill There's a poor lady that got seasick on an Alaskan cruise on the NCL Bliss. She had seasick medicine, but it didn't really work for her, so she went to the medical facility where they treated her for seasickness. They did stuff. They gave her IVs. They looked her over. They did some testing. They had some supplies. And all in all, by the time she got out of there with the little seasick treatment, she had a medical bill, which had to be paid prior to the end of her cruise, of over $2,000. Here's the pro tip. Before you go to medical with your seasickness, go to the buffet and eat some green apples. My understanding of seasickness is that it's caused when the equilibrium in your body doesn't match what it's seeing visually. So a lot of times you'll get seasick when you're inside the cruise ship. So another just real simple thing to try is to go out on an outer deck where the horizon, you can understand visually what's going on and your body could match that up. There's a lot of stuff to try before the cruise medical. They got medical insurance. Hopefully they get reimbursed and all of that stuff. But wow, that's a shocking big bill. Now look, many of you noticed that I've been ending the show with a little levity, a little jokey joke, dad jokes as some would call them. And look, the mailbag has been expanding a little bit with concerned citizens out there going, hey, you're a serious journalist. You're going to lose some of your credibility if you go, less than serious. We need you to be Walter Cronkite. We need you to be Geraldo Rivera. We need you to be a Tom Brokaw in this day. And if you're too goofy, you're going to lose some of that cred. So I'm trying to exercise out of me that urge to tell dad jokes. Maybe I should just go more traditional. Maybe I should just not do dad jokes. I'll just do regular. Let me do one that two sheep walk into a okay, that's a dad joke. Look, I can't help it. I love telling dad jokes. But my dad's dead. I can't tell him jokes anymore.